I'll show you how to go from this to this. Hi everyone, welcome to Body and Vine by Jess. It's our first official Get Ready With Me video. I'm really excited to share this with you. I have been a big fan of a lot of these Beautycounter makeup products that I've been playing with over the last month or so, and I've come up with a great everyday routine that takes me about 5 or 10 minutes in the morning. It's super fast, super easy, and I'm excited to share it with you, so please join me. So here's my bare face. It is very vulnerable feeling to be standing in front of you without any makeup, but I want to show you how I can get ready in like 5-10 minutes in the morning, which speed and ease is very important to me. So if I'm getting ready in the morning, after I prime my skin, the first thing I've been using is the Dew Skin. I know all these are gonna look, but this is the Dew Skin. I am number 2, so I'm the second darkest shade, and it has SPF 20 already in it, so I love that. If I'm using the tint skin, I usually combine that with our sunscreen, and it creates a nice barrier layer there. So here I use 2 pumps of this. I just put it in my palm, and then I put dots all around. So I just do 2 dots over here, over here. Okay, so I just finished rubbing in the Dew Skin that has the SPF. As you see, it kind of has a dewy finish. And now my next step is the Touch Up Concealer Pen. If you can see that. I use the lightest color. I think it's called Light. And it's a click bottom, you know, and there's a little top like this. So I usually just do 2 clicks, and I wait a second for it to fill up to the top. And then I focus a lot on my under eye. This is a big problem area for me, and I probably use more than I need to under here, but I just want to make sure that it makes me look bright-eyed and awake. And really, a little goes a long way, but I use it as like an eyeshadow primer, and then I use it to cover up any blemishes I have. Okay, now I've been using the Beauty Blend. You can use your fingers to rub this in, and that actually is what's recommended on their website, but I feel like it feels so good when you use a beauty blender, so I've been using just one of these that I got for super cheap off Amazon, and I just dab it in. And then once I get it mostly in, I use my finger and just even it out a little bit more. And then if I feel like I need a little bit more coverage on my eyes, I'll go in a second time just to focus on inner corners with the Touch Up Concealer Pen. I was really skeptical about this product. I used to use this that I would get at, you know, your CVS, and I was like, oh, it's the best product. I'll never, you know, why would I change it? And it's because this Touch Up Concealer Pen really has a lot more coverage for a lot less product. So, and you can trust the ingredients that they're always safe, nothing harmful. So I've just dabbed that in. One of the big changes that I've made over the last month, since I've been really focusing on my skincare, is I used to use a moisturizer and like tinted moisturizer as my base, and I wasn't liking the finish I was getting. It was always, you know, wouldn't last as long. My skin, you know, just looked like I was wearing more makeup, and I changed to an oil, which I was initially scared of, thinking that it would make my face look oily, and it made a world of difference. My skin, my makeup goes on a lot smoother, and that's good. Okay, the next step, which I don't do every time, is I go in with a little translucent setting powder. Right now the one I'm using is this one I got off Amazon, and when I finish this one, I'm gonna get the mattifying setting powder from Beautycounter, but I just use this flat brush. It's probably not the right brush to use, but I just focus on under my eyes to get that set so it doesn't make my mascara rub off from the oil. So if I'm rushing in the morning, I probably just use like a little of the powder that's residue on my brush just to set it underneath my eyes. Don't spend too much time on that step. Then I usually let this just kind of set a little bit. I brush off any excess, and then I do bronzer. So I just transitioned from my old bronzer, which Physicians Formula that I got at CVS, has been working fine, but Again, I don't really know what's in it, and I like that I can trust what's in the Beautycounter brand. I've been using this one too. So it's an eyeshadow palette, but I've just kind of been using it as a little bit of a bronzer. So I use it just around the edges of my face and here to warm up my skin. Make sure I get underneath my chin, help create the definition underneath my jawline, down my neck, so I'm nice and blended. And this is, after this step is when I really start to like see the face that I want to have come through. See how that oil, as I use as the base, really helps create like natural highlights on the higher points of my face. Okay, so the next step that I do is blush, and I've been using Hibiscus Color Pinch from Beautycounter. I love the packaging. And when you first put it on, it's like really intimidating. You're like, oh my God, there's so much product on you, but it really blends out nicely. So I just do a couple dots there and a couple dots there. And when I used to use Orgasm by NARS. I used that forever. And this is, it was making me look, it was like setting into my lines and really accentuating the lines, that little small fine lines that I'm starting to get as I get older. So I just blend this out. Upward motions, and I usually just kind of, excess that's on my fingers, I do around the corners of my face. See, and it just starts to really define your face. It's a natural way to contour. See, starting to look like myself. Okay, so normally I would just kind of maybe put on some like one coat of mascara and go out the door. But I've really been enjoying the eyeshadow palette recently, and I want to show you some of the things I've been doing. So this is the Ocean and Pacific palette. It was limited edition. I think it's still out. I'm loving it. They have a lot of these greens. I've played around with them, but really I've been focusing on the browns, and I'm like obsessed with the sunset color. I've used it as a blush. I just sometimes just wet my finger and do that on my eyelids. It looks beautiful. Really enjoying it. So today what I'll do is I'll use the sand here, a little bit of sunset in this, and I'm just going to create a little, you know, I guess you could call it your sunset fantasy. So I'm going to use two brushes. I'm going to use this one for just to set the all over base, and then I'm going to use this one for the crease. So first I'm going to go in with Driftwood, and it's really just a nice pale all over color. Sometimes I just use my finger, it's a lot quicker. And I find that since I put the concealer pen on my eyelids too, it helps the staying power of the shadows, and they go on a lot smoother. Now, then I'm gonna go in with sand, which is this one here. I'm just gonna just dab it very lightly. And it's really pigmented. Here you see how it's creating the definition of my eye. But it's not so intense that it looks like you're wearing a lot of makeup. For for years, I just wore like a light shimmery pink like on my lid just to make them look more awake. And I've been playing around again with eyeshadows, and I've been getting a lot of compliments. So it really doesn't take that much time. I just do a little bit of color in my crease here. If it's a nighttime look, I'll probably go in with the darker brown too. It's called Bungalow. And that is like crazy pigmented, but during, you know, the day especially, I'll just do something like light like this. Okay, so now, as you see there, now just because I'm like obsessed with the sunset color, I'm going to come in and just do a little bit more down here, and then take the sand, which is the crease color, and I'm just going to use it a little bit underneath here just for a little bit more lash definition. I never really wear eyeliner. My eyes do not react well to it, but look how that really just makes your eyes pop and stand out. And I really like to accentuate my eyes and make them look like big green hazel eyes. So that's that. Oh, almost forgot. I gotta do the white. This was kind of a new thing. So I just take a little bit of the white. It's called Breeze. I mean, it's pretty white, and I just do a little bit there. And I just make sure it's really blended out. And then I just do some in the crease there. And then I take a little dab and I go here. And if you put a little white here in the corner, it really helps open your eyes and make them look more awake. And usually I can use all the help I can get in that arena. Okay, there we go. How does it look? Does it feel sunset fantasy to you? I've been also having fun with highlighter, and I've been using just this master strobing stick as I wait for my stick highlighter from Beautycounter. I just put a little bit there, blend it in, do a little bit on my nose. Okay, yeah, I Cupid's bow. And if it's nighttime, like sometimes I go a little crazy with the highlighter. It's really fun to use and I enjoy it. Okay, the next step is mascara. So I take the volumizing and the lengthening. Volumizing I prefer, and then if it's at nighttime, I use both. And I start with the volumizing. See how fun that wand is? I wiggle it back and forth as I twist it up.
Now during the day I usually throw this on and head out the door.
So for the sake of time, I'm just going to do one layer. Look at how much that works. And we'll move on to lips and call it a day. I use the Terra lip butter and I use the Ruby lip gloss, and these are like, oh, so amazing. They really condition, easy to use. It smells like cake batter and they don't use any scent, so this is all natural oil, because a lot of times cosmetics companies will hide bad things for you. And
Now this is really intimidating because I know what it is, but it's not. It really blends out nicely. I use my finger there.
so this is the finished look. I love how fresh-faced and dewy and youthful it feels, and it looks like I'm put together but not wearing that much makeup. So thank you for joining. That's Body and Vine by Jess. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will be coming back with more makeup looks. This is my first one. It is a totally weird experience, but I enjoyed it, and I'm excited to share these things with you, and hopefully you guys learned something or you just enjoyed my company. Thanks for stopping by.